Yo, what is up guys? It's Pedro here, and in today's video I will be reacting to the report from Albert Breer that Emmanuel Forbes has been looking really good and coaches have been taking notice. So if you guys are new, make sure to subscribe for Washington and NFL content. Hit that like button and the notification bell as well, and make sure to check out Man to Sleep, link in the description. And before all you guys comment like, oh Pedro, you hated the Emmanuel Forbes pick, you shouldn't be rooting for him now, just because I didn't love the pick doesn't mean that I can't root for Emmanuel Forbes. I'm a Commanders fan. I love this team, and they invested a first-round pick in a cornerback, and of course, I'm going to root for him, even though I didn't, agree totally with the pick. And yes, it's grown on me a little bit, but still. Now, let's get right into it. So this is from Dove Kleiman, but Albert Breer reported, and he said, rookie cornerback Emmanuel Forbes has immediately turned heads at practice. One coach compared a play he made on the ball to Cowboys cornerback Trayvon Diggs. So I mean that's good in terms of his ball skills, because Trayvon Diggs has great ball skills, just doesn't really have he just gets beat a lot. So it's good he's comparing Emmanuel Forbes' ball skills to Trayvon Diggs, and then a coach said Forbes is really effing good. So that is amazing to see or hear. And then this is a good play from his practice, and I'll play it for you guys right here. No audio, but basically just goes in there, breaks up a pass, and almost gets the interception. Probably should have. And you see the teammate, I don't know who that is, some mini camp guy, his reaction to it is just like, wow, what a break on the ball. And I don't know who that was. Number 3 might be Kyron McCowan, but that's just a great play. That's just a great play. You see the coach also just going like, wow. So far he's looked special, and that's great to hear, see, and everything. I mean, we invest a first round pick in this guy. We need him to be good. We need him to elevate this defense to a whole nother level. And I think with the D line that we have, I think it'll actually help him out a ton, because they're not going to have much, the quarterback's not going to have much time to throw the football. So Emmanuel Forbes, the quarterbacks are going to throw worse passes, and that might lead to more interceptions for Emmanuel Forbes. We need a big year from him. I think 3+ interceptions minimum for him. Or, I mean, he is known for his interceptions, but if he just ends up locking people down, that's good enough too, of course. And I think, we're hearing good things now, and this is the same thing with Jahan. It's like, we heard good things in the beginning, and we just need to keep hearing good things. So we heard great things in rookie minicamp. Now the next step for Forbes is regular mini camp and OTAs and training camp, when he's going up against Terry, John, and Curtis, how he fares up. Maybe, at first it's going to be a little bit of a, learning period for him, because he's going up against an elite receiver in Terry and potential elite receiver in Jahan. But I think down the line, he'll start to improve, and at some point might be locking a couple of these guys up, and that would be great to see. I think I compared it to the Sam Cosmi situation in his rookie year. He was getting beat a ton by Montez Sweat and Chase Young, but as the offseason went on, he started actually, blocking really well against them and had a really good rookie year. Second year wasn't as great, but dealt with a lot of injuries. I'm still excited to see what Sam Cosmi can do in year 3 at right guard. Let's see. So this is a full thing from Albert Breer. Shout out him. Always has some good stories. One rookie who has immediately turned heads is Commanders cornerback Emmanuel Forbes. The 16th pick in April's draft came out flying in rookie minicamp with a pick on the first day that reminded one Washington coach of Trayvon Diggs in how instinctively and aggressively Forbes went after the ball. And I sussed that comparison out after the coach's initial reaction to the rookie's weekend was simply, Forbes is really effing good. So again, he's comparing his ball skills and its aggressiveness to Diggs, and that's a good and bad thing. I mean, Diggs' aggressiveness is what gets him a lot of picks, but also is what gets him in trouble sometimes. And just a double move, if he bites on it and thinks the quarterback's throwing, he's playing a little bit aggressive. Well, the receiver's going to beat him, and that's why Trayvon Diggs allows a lot of yards. But I don't think Forbes is necessarily going to be that way. I don't think that's really going to be necessarily his weakness, is going to be playing too aggressive. And that's something you can get coached out of. That really is something you can get coached out of. And I think, it would be nice to have Chris Harris here. And Chris Harris on this play would have said, "What, you don't like nice things, Emmanuel Forbes." But it's sad to see him not be here, because he was a really good DB coach. But I think, the guys we have right now are solid as well. And real quick, word from a sponsor. And huge shout out to Mantis Sleep for sponsoring this video. They make the best sleep masks in the world. They have a bunch of different types that can change temperatures, that can change the sound that you're listening to when you're going to bed and when you're waking up. I've been using it for the last month or so, and it's done wonders for my sleep. My sleep has improved drastically. I've been getting good quality sleep whenever I'm having a tough time sleeping. I just put the mask on and go to bed, and it's great. So check them out. Use code HTTC for 10% off. And we back, and I'll show you guys another clip real quick from Emmanuel Forbes. I did a whole video on some highlights from rookie minicamp with not just Forbes, and I did show this clip, but Forbes, Chris Rodriguez, some of the receivers as well. But I'll show you guys this clip, just kind of showing a little bit of his, drills, his fluidity. I think he caught some passes, yeah. So, he's got to catch that, and he did. He's got great ball skills, and you can see him backpedaling and stuff. So, just some background stuff to talk about. But I'm excited to see what he can do. Again, it's how he builds on it. So, rookie minicamp, you look good. Jahan did the same thing, and he kept on building on it and building on it. I can't remember. I don't think he really did anything in the preseason. I don't think he played that much, but when he did, he didn't do much. But for Forbes, yeah, it's just how it keeps on building. And then once we actually get to OTA/minicamp, which I can't remember which one it is first, but I think we have OTAs or whatever next Wednesday. So, the 24th, I believe that's when it is. And that will be our first kind of test of, okay, Emmanuel Forbes versus Terry, or Emmanuel Forbes versus Curtis or Jahan, or even De'Ami Brown. Let's see how he stacks up against them. And if he's locking them up right away, that is a great sign, how his development is and how ready he's going to be, week one. But if it's a little bit slow, don't worry. It'll be concerning if a month down the line, or we get into the middle of a training camp, the end, the latter part of training camp, and he's still consistently getting beat by these guys. Like William Jackson III, we weren't too concerned the first few times when he kept on getting beat by these receivers, but once it got a habit and it didn't stop in training camp towards the end of it, that's when people got concerned year one, and then year two is the same thing was happening last offseason. So that's kind of my take on the Emmanuel Forbes situation. If he looks good right away, that's great, but if not, be a little patient, because he played in college, and now he's going up against some of the best receivers in the NFL. And the SEC is good, but last year they didn't have, the top receivers. I don't think they had a single receiver drafted in the first round. The years before they did, with Jalen Waddle and Devontae Smith, Emmanuel Forbes went up against them. But this past year, not so much. So it might take a little bit of time for him to adjust, but I think he'll be fine and will be a starting outside corner for us, even though he was playing a little bit in the slot during minicamp, which is interesting. Maybe it's just them trying him out before they start and get into actual minicamp and OTAs. But I thought that was interesting. Thought, he was going to be outside, but I guess they're trying him out. Maybe he'll play slot, but I don't think you draft a guy in the first round who can play outside to play slot. I don't think you do that. So I think they're just trying out, but that's something to watch to see if he's playing the slot to start out minicamp, because we really don't know who's going to play in the slot. Will it be Forbes? Will it be Juice? Or will it be Kendall Fuller? It could be any of those guys. That's going to be the combo, though, the three of them. Who knows? Maybe Quan Martin is in the slot. There's a lot of different possibilities for the Commanders here. I'm really liking how this secondary is turning out. I think it could be one of the strengths. The only weakness on this team, on this defense, is the linebacker position. They just don't have a strong group right there. Jamin has potential to be good this year. I want to see another jump from him. Cody Barton will probably be solid, but your depth there is terrible. That's the only weakness on the defense, in my opinion. Everything else is really, really good to elite. And if Chase Young can put things together and ball out, I think this defense will be special. So that is it for today's video. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, that like button, subscribe if you guys are new, and peace.